Hello and welcome, this is Meltsgunner, and we're back with some more Unity of Command. So we just loaded into this scenario and looked at our prospects. And I focused on areas that I could attack, but I should also think about where I should attack, and that's going to be along rail lines so that we stay in supply. And that's going to be a difficult task up in the north because I don't really have much backup. I do have an engineer here, but I'm not going to have much to push with that. I do have an engineer here, and I did talk about pushing through here, but we have the rail line here. So using my air attacks here may be the wiser move to try and break this guy's entrenchment, because he'll probably stay entrenched, because this is going to be an important line for him to defend. The problem is we're going to hit a river fairly soon here, and that's going to be the main point that really thwarts our ability to take this objective. Moving on down, we also have the rail line here. I have another engineer here and another one here. Again, not really helping me push a line that we need, but it's somewhere we could push. But then we have this rail line that we could also capture. Yet again, we have a river that thwarts us. And then down here, we have this rail line. This one's going to be a lot easier to capture down here. So I really do think we should focus on trying to roll up this rail line if we can and bring that up so that my other men are in supply, but we have to meet them halfway. So, because this is our early objective, I really think we should do the pushing in the middle here. This unit, I think it's going to be the attack into this region here that I talked about. This is open ground, so we should have a decent chance of doing damage here and possibly breaching him. And we also got him to back as well. So we have already got forward progress there. Now, what I'm going to do with that, I'm not sure yet, but that's a good start. I think we do our air attacks along the rail line, because looking at the supply here, yes, I could push through here, but how long would it be before I ran out of supply? Not that long. This is open ground, but there's a lot of woods and other things here. I'm not going to get that far before I start running into supply problems, so I really do need to push this rail line if I can. So let's go for that. Let's see what our chance to hit is. So -1, -1. We could wipe this guy out if we wanted to, but that kind of thing I don't think is important. I think we go after this breach attempt. We'll hit him twice if we need to. Okay, that was a lot of damage to the point that I'm not sure I want to hit him again with an airstrike. Yeah, we can really hurt him here. So, we've got 2 infantrymen that should have the same chance of damaging him. And then we could possibly push in here. So let's try for that. Okay, breached him. Unfortunately, that did cause me to take a casualty there, which we obviously want to do if we can. All right, so at this point, I could push a unit in here. And honestly, I think it probably should be my armor. And then I can probably destroy the unit here. Well, let's move in. Let's see what our prospects are once we move in to this point. Do 2 damage there. We can do 4 damage here, which does widen things up a bit. Then we can do 2 damage and try and progress along the rail line. We have a 30% chance of getting that guy to move back. See, the problem, though, with getting this rail line is that, if we push here, we need to get the supplies up somewhere. So we'd have to get it through the woods, more or less. I'm not sure. Should I push forward or should I wipe this guy? Because it'd give me a high chance of an overrun, perhaps. If I don't get it, it's not the end of the world, but it gives me another attack, perhaps. Let's go for it. Okay, so we did get our overrun. Now, this is going to lower my damage potential, but it will allow me to move another tank in here, which could be quite good for us. So I'm going to go ahead and try a push along the rail line. Okay, we didn't get the breach, but that's okay. Either moving the motorized unit in or moving one of our tanks in, I think would be wise. I think we want to be offensive here, and we want to push here for sure. Yes, I can push up here. But I don't think it's as good of a move for us because just the lack of supply. So Definitely, I think we move the armor in. And then we could follow up with the motorized. This unit's not that strong. Why don't we move the stronger unit in? Okay. I'm hoping, there we go. We pushed a little bit further along that rail line. We want motorized unit. Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, I'm not able to easily move on to that spot we just freed up. Now, I could keep pushing here, and now we're starting to hit guys that are not entrenched. And I kind of like that idea. I don't know how much damage we're going to do against this guy. I'm not able to easily capture the rail. Maybe if I... No, even expending the extra point. This infantry can do it. So let's have the infantry move up, because he's probably the only guy that can do it. I mean, there's other infantry that can do it. But do we use an infantry that can attack this turn? Probably. I mean, really it's down to this guy and this guy being able to do it. So let's move into the woods. And might as well smack this guy. There we go. Got him out of the way. And is it possible for me to capture the other space of the rail? Doesn't look like it. That's unfortunate, but it does get us moving, at the very least. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this progress. This tank's going to be the one that does the most damage for me. So I think we move it. And we can plug this hole with infantry. As I said, this area was not that important. I mostly did this attack because it was a thing that we could do, because I had an engineer sitting there. But now I'm seeing that we can push here. And we may want to push our engineer down as well, so that we can use that more down here where it's going to matter. Okay, that's not bad damage. I'll take it. Unfortunately, we're not able to really follow up with our motorized units too much. We could do that. We could have them do the push here. And if anything, it just puts some pressure on my opponent to make them freak out. You know, that's kind of what we're going for here. I think we'll be all right in supply if I make this move. So wipe this unit out, or at least do damage to it. Hopefully we get him to move back some more so we can leapfrog in here. There we go. So now I can move this unit in. Okay. Where would we want to attack? We could wipe this guy out. I don't know if it necessarily would be that beneficial to do it. Let's hit this guy. Okay. So it's a little bit of a move there. I'm not going to be able to follow up with it too much, but I'll be able to move infantry into support. So we'll be all right. Now, the attack with the infantry isn't going to make much sense because we would be at bad odds because they're entrenched. But hey, we at least are holding the line. What are we looking at as far as rivers? I could cross a river, but I don't know what the supply situation would be like. It might not be too bad because, you know, we have supply right here, but it's marsh, so it might be quite bad. We'll have to see. That wasn't too bad of a little push there. Yeah, again, all these odds are going to be bad because we're fighting in the woods and what have you. But definitely I should move the engineer down where we might be able to use it more effectively. So there's somewhere I can move with this infantry. Move in here, which pushes our lines, so we'll do so. And at least we are holding the other side of the river so they can't just cross easily. And then our other infantry. So I do want to bring down the engineer, so it's in that area so we can use it if we need it. Bring an infantry guy up so they can't through here too much. We also want to hold the line for our men. They should be in supply because of this route. If they were to cut here, maybe not so much. So it's important to hold this ground. And again, our attack chances are not going to be great, so we're not going to go for that. Okay, I can't push much farther in here, so we're just gonna move up, kind of solidify the line. All right, well that's a start. We have one more air attack, but I don't have really any pushing power here anymore. I mean, I could throw it somewhere here, but I think that'd be a little bit of a waste. We do have an engineer here who can do damage here, so I mean, why not? We may be able to push the rail line a little bit further if we get him to retreat, which there is a chance. Okay, we breached him. That's a good thing. And we did damage. So it's pushing a little bit in this area. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make much ground up here. I think it's just important that we hold the river here. So then again, if we do manage to get some advancement, this is open ground here. So I'd be alright if the enemy moves in here because we could do heavy damage on them in a follow-up attack. So I'd rather move into the woods here. Yeah, we are still in supply. That's good. And then I have you come down here, just so that we could follow up with this, perhaps. And then this guy maybe could do so as well. So we do manage to get a hole here. That'd be nice. There's our supply situation here. So if I move any further forward, probably I'm going to be cut off. Although it's hard to say. I mean, we're across a river any way you look at it. So I'm actually curious, if I move up here, what's my supply situation going to be? Same, because it's all cross-river stuff. So in that vein, why don't we go ahead and cross the river here too, because it's not gonna hurt to do it. We may take some heavy damage because we may be in open terrain here. No, we're in marshland. But we should be not in supply. Ooh, that sucks. Well, it is what it is. I was kind of afraid that would be the case, but hey, we're there and we did it. So we'll have to see how the enemy reacts in the north. All right, now let's take a look at the south. We've got this very obvious, I mean, it's very open. So it's going to be hard if they have a lot of men here to not get cut off from supply. So I'm going to have to be careful about that. I think what I should do here is try and just capture this rail line, because we should have supply along it. Yeah, we should. And we have a fair number of units here that I think we can push this. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a bit of leapfrogging. Take best advantage of this. I want to see where my infantry can get. So this infantryman can get here or here. And from a leapfrogging standpoint, it kind of makes more sense to go up here. Because that will allow somebody to move here, and then we can move in behind, and we can cut off the rail here. We may not be in the greatest supply situation if I do that. But at the same time, oh no, I can't do that. All right, well, I'm just thinking here, breaking this guy from his entrenchment is going to be difficult. Yeah. I mean, cavalry is just as strong as normal infantry for my enemy. All right, well, let the leapfrogging commence here. I'm going to save the attack for when it feels like we've got better odds. So, move this guy here. Tank. Yeah, the tank can't move any further, so the tank's gonna go here. And we're gonna hit. Okay, we managed to get him to retreat, so I guess I screwed up there. Hit him again. Maybe I shouldn't have moved quite as many units as I did. Fortunately, they're locked in as well. Well, I'm going to move here. That way we can protect the rail line. And then Fortunately, I think I'm going to have to stay put as much as I could move forward. I'm afraid he'll be able to... Well, you know what? If he cuts off the rail line, it wouldn't hurt me that bad in supply. It causes, you know, a little bit of a nuisance, but nothing serious. All right, well, that wasn't too bad. I kind of set that up badly, I think, because he retreated and I didn't really expect him to. So we had units locked in that we normally wouldn't have, but oh well. Let's go ahead and continue here. So we've got a river there, and I don't really care about that river as long as they're not able to get across and cut off my supply, which they may be able to do in this upcoming turn, but out of curiosity, what do you have? You have artillery. Well, we don't really want to hit artillery if we don't have to. Let's see. Let's hit you first. Way if you do retreat, which you did, we're prepared for it to a certain extent. Okay. You want to capture the rail line. Kind of our end goal here, so move up. Let's hit this guy. Another one. Have you move up. Got an overrun chance. I'll go ahead and kill this guy just because he may be a nuisance to me if I don't. And here, I think I'll just hold the bridge. The enemy can't cross and then cut me off easily. Okay, that's done. And then here, we want to support this rail line roll-up. Let's start this out. We have decent supply in this area. I think I'll be in supply here. Hard to say, but if I'm able to link these up, we should be all right. If we're in supply, we are, so he won't be as screwed next turn. Go ahead and hit this guy. Okay, we didn't get him to breach or anything, but hey, it's a start. But definitely, we need to focus on the rail line. I don't think as much anywhere else matters. Cross over here. River. River. Okay. So yeah, I think it's important that we link up our supply lines, which I'll be able to do if I capture this forest here. So I'm going to go with this move. Now, unfortunately, attacking to this guy is probably not the smartest move because he's got the KV-1 tank. But I'm a little, you know, afraid that if I don't link these lines up, we'll be hurting. So this tank is the only one that can reach. So, all right. Yeah, see, now our supplies are a little bit better. Now let's just mass our our tanks along this rail line. We'll just roll up the rail line. That's the whole idea. So, well, I can hit this guy harder, and he's going to be in the way anyway. So, sure. All right, it's a start. And we should be in a position where the enemy's not easily able to cut me off. Well, they can, because they can just move this guy in. But if they do, I'll be able to murder him, I think, fairly easily. I couldn't ensure that they have no possibility of cutting me off. Now, I could go here to prevent that. But then he could just cross the river and go up that way and do the same thing. Ugh. Alright, I'll do that. But yeah, I think they can cut me off for supply either way they go. Either crossing her over here or not. But we'll see if the enemy actually does it. Maybe they won't do it because it exposes that soldier much. I don't know. Alright, so good progress there. Now the question is, can we advance along this rail line? And we're going to need help here, so air attack for sure. Fortunately, it was unsuccessful. We don't have any engineers, but we do have tanks. We have lots of tanks. But the attack odds are going to be terrible here, so puts me a little bit in an awkward situation where I want to punch in along the rail line here, but my odds are terrible. What I could do is I can move this guy in here, which is not necessarily a bad move. And then we could do some leapfrog tactics off of him. So go ahead and move this tank up. And then I think from here I'll be able to leapfrog in. Maybe not even after I do the move, but hopefully we, there we go. That's what we need. I'll hit this guy because I can. Fortunately, we did take some damage there on our tank, and we can't really afford that too much. Alright, let's get our other tank moving in here. We really don't want to put that tank in a vulnerable spot, though, because it took pretty heavy damage. But yeah, the objective here is just try and roll up the rail line. So we stay in supply. I don't know if I'm going to move all of my tanks in that situation, but trying to think what would be the better move here. Moving one of my infantry up and attacking him, because we may not be able to finish him if I do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we may do more tank attack here. Let's do this unit because he's a little weaker. Wiped out. Can get one more, so again, might as well because we're capturing rail line as we do it. And we can link these two forces together at some point and then have them roll up. So, I don't know, I feel like I'm making good forward progress here, so I figure keep hitting. Could get a breach. Let's... Part of me wants to take this guy out. But let's go ahead and punch this guy out instead. Because we may be able to get in here a little bit more if he's not here. So there's also a possibility I may have been able to. So we can leapfrog in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to leapfrog too much more than that. But we can leapfrog around. I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of attacking with this infantry. I am going to get it in a place where it can, you know, get in there and secure lines. And we're not going to be doing much damage with these, but get them up spot where they can help us out. Okay. We got some good forward momentum here. We do have an engineer unit. And we'd have a fairly big hole if I was able to destroy this guy. But at the same time, we've got guys here that'd be nice maybe to take out. So, well, let's go forward because we can. Let's have this unit move. Okay, all right. Wipe him out. So I can continue leapfrogging here and get into here if I want to. What's the supply situation? Be quite good because we've got the rail line. As long as the enemy can't recapture the rail line, we're fine. Alright, well, before I make that kind of decision, I should see what kind of hole we can punch in this area. So, we've got 2 engineer squads. The chance that we'll be able to... Ooh. Okay, so this guy's going to be a tough one to get through. So, I guess we will go ahead and punch this guy. Get him to back off. Okay. I definitely think we should move somewhere with this guy, but I'm not sure yet. Where? Got the breach and got him to back off. Alright, we've got more leapfrogging potential here. I do have to plug a hole here. So I have to keep that in mind with the infantry I'm going to be moving here. Somebody has to go here. I think it's going to be this unit. But let's go ahead and move up in here. Then we should have follow-ups that can leapfrog past him, perhaps. So, we'll move in. Might as well do some damage. We can. And we frog again. We just link these 2 guys up perfectly. Hit him again. Destroy him. Now we can move into the woods here if we want. These 2 infantry units are just going to be here to hold the line and make sure the enemy isn't able to really do anything. Fortunately, these units are too far away to help me out at the moment. I'd say this is going pretty well for a first turn. This guy's entirely cut out from supply, and although he's a tough unit, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot here. I really do want to move this unit away, but I'm kind of afraid to do that because then the enemy will be able to take advantage of that. So moving this engineer up may make more sense. Then we have these 2 units to fill the hole. I'm not likely going to be doing much more attacking here. Wait a second. Not enough with the extra movement. Sucks. What about you? No? What about you? No? Alright. May not matter, though. Because as long as I'm able to hold on to this rail line, if he moves here, who cares? Right? I can move the tank here. Then I could move the motorized infantry here. And that stops him from doing really any harm. And I'm going to have a unit here. So... Oh, we have another engineer right here. Alright, let's see what they can do. And where would we want to push through? We could do more damage here, and we could maybe get a good push through as well, because we've got a couple infantry in reserve. So let's try it. Okay, we got it. Okay, we can put this infantry guy there. Ooh, the motorized infantry can get in there. What about the tank? No. But motorized infantry can come in for an attack. Interesting. Alright. So, let's move you in here. Might as well. Move the motorized infantry in. Not a bad attack opportunity. We breached him. Good. Now we may be able to do some heavy damage because he's breached. Good. You might as well leapfrog in. Finish this guy off. This is going amazingly well. If I move this engineer up, I could move this infantry guy in and we could finish this guy off. So just kind of widen the gap that we've got here. I feel like I'm kind of running out of units though to... Well, we can fill the holes. Okay, not bad. Okay. As I said, you're going to move up. Troy. Alright. You're going to move here. Unfortunately, don't have an attack there. I can move here. That allows me to move up into this little town or whatever, and gets me, you know, good footing here. And then I can move one of these engineers up to encircle this guy. Yeah, he does have an avenue to go this way, but it's heavy wood, so he's not going to get that far. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this to make sure this guy's cut off, because he could potentially come in and cut my rail line. I don't want him to be able to do that. Let's go ahead and have this unit move up, that we are capturing this bit of terrain that we fought for. Not that that bit of terrain necessarily matters, but, you know, it is what it is. And I'll go ahead and move my tank up, getting it into a position to help me out next turn. Because it's not going to be attacking anyone. It doesn't have enough movement for that, so... Okay, well that looked pretty damn good. We do have a bunch of units here that haven't yet moved. I haven't used his motorized unit yet. I was kind of holding on that one to see what happened here. I think I should continue to push for sure. Is there like a wiser move somewhere? Not really. Let's go up here. We'll see what we have as far as attack. So we can do 2 damage here, or we can kill this guy. Speaking of which, I have an attack here, don't I? Boom, we don't have to worry about him now. Okay, let's attack here. Alright. Continuing to do good casualties, I think. So here, what I think I should do is I should go for like a quasi-encirclement. Should be... I was gonna say, we should be okay with supply. I don't know if that's true, necessarily. Alright. Well, if I move you here, can I leapfrog into the... Yeah, there we go. Now we should have better supply in here. Well, I say that. Not that much better. Guess I'll have you just move up to hold this line. Have you come in here. So I am a little afraid if I move this cavalry unit up, it is going to be out of supply. Now this is open terrain though, so I may be able to get away with it. Well, we'll do it. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right, now what do we do with our situation? I guess we'll put this guy into a kind of a reserve. All right, so where have we not gone? Gone all in here. Attacks I could do, but I didn't do them because I think they're wise. So the south and the center is mostly done. We have some things here that we haven't attacked with. We've got some movement we can do in here. But it's not going to get me that far along. Get a little reinforcement going this way. I can't really push in anywhere that's going to help. I think we've made what ground we can make. So any units that would be moving here would just be moving to, like, give me a little bit more bodies to push with. So I'll put one guy up here to give me some bodies. Yeah, and I don't think we're going to be doing much in the north either, just holding the line. So you're going to come up here to help, give me bodies to help push. And you are going to come in behind the tanks here for some bodies to help push in that direction. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for the turn. It was a pretty successful turn. One of our airstrikes wasn't as successful as the other, but that's what happens sometimes with airstrikes. You use them where you need them, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But yeah, we made good forward progress. We killed a lot of enemy units here. And I could pay for an engineer unit to help me push somewhere. Not sure where I would do that, though. And if it would be important anywhere. Where it would be important is somewhere where we have an attack set up. Like, for example, maybe this city. Not an objective, but we can put that engineer on there and see if we can break this guy, because we are going to need to break him to get through. So, you know what? That's probably not a bad expenditure. Now, I don't know if this comes into that. You only have 2 reorganization points. But yeah, I think engineers here. Oh, wow, that costs 800. But we have a possibility of getting 2,300 from here. So, you know what? What are the points for if you're not going to use them? Okay. Well, it's still a terrible attack, apparently. So, yeah, that was a waste of points. Maybe it doesn't apply until next turn, because I'm noticing that the color is not solid. So maybe next turn we'll benefit from that. Well, in any case, I think that's going to be our first turn. I think a pretty successful first turn. And we've got a lot more turns to go before this campaign is over with. So it may take quite a while, but, you know, I think we're doing all right. End the turn. We'll see what the enemy does to react to this, because a lot of what they may do to react will cause them to lose their entrenchment, perhaps. I have to keep in mind just how many men they have here, and it'd be tough to get through them all. Interesting, they actually moved that guy away. So now that engineer is even less useful, perhaps. I'm not too surprised that they're moving a lot of things in here, because they're trying to stop me from making headway in all these holes that I was able to push through. They should be able to completely close the holes. As long as they move their things in a semi-intelligent fashion. Yeah, I would say fairly good in this game. I mean, you definitely have an advantage, at least with this campaign, with your units being... Oh, interesting. A couple situations where they had good attacks on me. I'm not sure if we're going to get much in the way of reinforcements. They got a couple. I'm curious here with the star, what that means. But I guess we'll see here in a bit. Oh, they're still going? This is just going to be a long combat, just waiting for the enemy to do things. Oh, wow, 2 there. Is that on an objective? I feel like those aren't on objectives. That's somewhat unusual for the enemy, that kind of thing, but that's alright. Hey, finally. I mean, objectives near... No, they don't have any objectives up here, so... Interesting. Alright, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mulsgunner, signing out.